But there's so many things that we have to do, and there's so many things on our plate, and there's so many things that we feel like we're the only ones that can do, right? And it makes it really hard for us to do life sometimes, right? And I think it's really big in society right now. Maybe it's just social media, but like the talk of like mental load, right? And if there's specific challenges with that you guys have as a mom and an owner, and anything that maybe you have found that, even if it's just in this season and it's a small help in this moment, that maybe someone else could it could help someone else, if there's anything you want to share.
Okay, I'm going to jump on this one super quick. Yeah. This is what, like, I don't know, when you were talking a little bit, I was like, my brain was starting to go this direction of like, when I don't know, maybe this is just me like growing up, but like, I would always think of like CEOs or owners of businesses as they have it all together, right? Like, they have everything together at work. They always show up to their meetings on time. They always have everything ready right away. Their kids are like so well behaved, and there's always this fabulous dinner on the table, and your house is clean, and just like people have it all together all the time, right? And luckily, so before I got into ABA, I was a preschool teacher, and then I did in-home daycare for a while. And I had a mom that she was a lawyer. And so I always had this just like, oh gosh, she's just, she comes in and she's dressed so cute, and her kids are always dressed so cute, and she's got it together. And then there was one day she came in and said, I'm really sorry, but they're still in their pajamas. And they had cold pizza for breakfast. So if you've got anything a little healthier, maybe, and it just was kind of like an eye opener of like, oh, it's okay. Like, people perceive you, right, as, oh, that you're in this position, and they have this thought. And so then that comes on to you, and you're like, now I have to have all of that together. And there have been other conversations like throughout like recent times of other people that, friends of ours who are in higher leadership positions. And we just laugh about all the silly things that we have to do, and how we walk into meetings sometimes and we're stumped, right? Like, oops, I forgot my notes, or I have no idea like the answer to that question. And so just being genuine and saying like, I don't know. I can look that up for you, right? Like, but I don't have to know all the answers. I think has been a really good like fact check to just myself that it's okay to not have it all together all the time. And I think that was the biggest thing for me, was to give myself like permission to let some things go, and that it doesn't always have to be perfect, because I too am like, it has to be like my way is the best way. Of course it is. Like, why wouldn't you want to do it my way? Right? Like, it's efficient. It's, not messy. I don't know, whatever, like all these things. But then I sit there and I'm like, I only have so much in my bucket, right? Like, I've got a bucket, and every little thing is to drop out. And by the end of the day, if I don't let somebody help me, I'm not going to have anything left in my bucket to give to anybody else. And then I'm not an effective leader, an effective mom, an effective wife, like all those things at the end of the day. Giving myself permission to say, it's okay. It's all right. Other people can do it. And it's all right if it's not exactly how you would have done it, as long as we get the same goal, right? Like, the mess is picked up, and there's, you're fed, and it may not always be the most healthy thing, but you got something in you, and, things are running well. So
you're spot on, Jess, with the kind of letting go part. Like, I think that's been one of the biggest challenges for me. And it's going to be a challenge for the rest of my life, probably, because, similar to Amarilys, you were talking about the need to have everything organized and in a box and ready to go. And before I had, my son, that was me. I was like down to the minute, and it still trickles in here. I have people to spot check on whether or not I put lunch into my calendar. But that's the hard piece, like giving up the control to say, like, if something fails, it's going to be fine, right? At the end of the day, that kind of like flexibility to be like, okay, this didn't go the way that I had planned it to go. And whether that's, the fact that I have 16 different apps to check my school newsletter, right? What I'm registering for lunch, the pickup time, if it changed, and who needs to be there to pick up, and, the thing I need to buy, and then the next kid event that's happening, like all those things are coming in, via technology in all sorts of ways these days. And I'm trying to focus on all those. Well, I've also got my Google Calendar, to the T for the company. And then I've got 16 other calendars that I'm also supposed to be monitoring. Things are going to fall apart sometimes. And like you said, you just have to be like, that's okay. Like, it's all right to not have it all together, and kind of like look back, I think that at the end of the day or the end of the week or whenever you really remember to even do it, because sometimes I don't, one thing that's been really helpful for me is reflecting on the successes of the day, right? Like, what are those little bright spots that I felt like I was a good mom, right? You know, I try to do that with my son at night. I'm like, oh, buddy, like, let's think about like, what is some part that you thought was really like awesome about your day to day, whether it was just something super small, like, oh, you know, like I remembered my water bottle, you know, because sometimes those are the big things, especially for kids. It's like, oh, I have this super cool stuffy, like my kid's really into Pokemon right now. So sometimes he's just like, Mom, I really love Pikachu. That's my bright spot. And I'm like, that's great. Like, it's so awesome to find that tiny thing that makes you so incredibly happy. And when you get in the thick of planning and scheduling and making sure that we did the laundry and that we didn't forget about bath night, and it's so easy to lose sight of those things, you know, and that happens cyclically. I find myself in those spots where I'm like, oh my God, I'm so in everything that I don't know what day it is. I can't remember the last time that I was like, oh, wow, I really enjoyed that activity, like fully enjoyed something without being distracted by like my to-do list. And so you have to be really intentional about it in order to keep that kind of positivity and that like lightness to things when you're trying to navigate keeping track of 400 things every day. And you have not only, you know, your own child relying on you, but the families that you serve are relying on you. The staff that you hire are relying on you. And so I think those components together can feel very heavy sometimes. And, you know, April, you mentioned like feeling like you're, you know, alone, like on an island out there somewhere. You know, I always hear that phrase that when you're solo at the top, you're just there by yourself, right? It's like you're at the top of this mountain. So having that community and like the one that you guys have established, I think is really, really helpful.
So a couple of things based on what Jess and Tiffany have said. I think I was really blessed when I was an employee in a pediatric ABA clinic to have kind of a front row seat to the CEO and COO of the company being moms. And I joined that company when their kids were like 2 and 3 months old, and was a part of that company up until the kids were 7. So like I got to kind of see the mom journey there as like a front row seat. So like I kind of got to see them grow as business owners and as moms, and kind of seeing like some of the challenges that they ran into. You know, it kind of gave me like an idea that like in my own journey, like it's okay to, like you guys said, not have the answer, or to to have to kind of prioritize, like I got to be mom right now, or I got to be CEO right now. And that then has given me permission to try and start telling myself, I don't have to have set working hours. Like I can be CEO from 8 to 10 and mom from 10 to 12, and then back to CEO for 10, 12 to whatever, and then do bedtime and then go back to like, I don't have to work 8 to 5 every day, right? Like it can be a flexible schedule. And within that, then maybe there are times where I'm in mom mode and an employee calls and I have to really like say and teach my employees, is it an emergency? Like, is it time sensitive? Do I need to talk to you right now? Because if it is, I'll temporarily pause mom mode and go into CEO mode, right? But if it's not an emergency, then I'm going to stay in mom mode because that's what my family needs right now in this exact moment, right? Like if I'm at a daycare event or, it's bedtime or something like that. But if it's an emergency mode and because I can't always switch out of mom mode because of my husband's work schedule. He's a firefighter, so he's gone 1 out of every 3 days. So sometimes I literally can't be in CEO mode because it's bedtime and I'm the only one putting the kids to bed, right? So like there's been a lot of an adjustment in these last 4 or 5 months of like giving myself permission to not be always on for the company, because sometimes it's just literally I can't. And I explain that to the employees, and I'm fortunate that all of my employees are also moms right now, so they understand it. They've been either been in the trenches with me, or their kids are older, but they still remember it. And so there's a lot of empathy and shared grace for all of us. Kind of, I think it was Amarilys that was saying that, like of understanding like when your employees are going through something too, and like having that ability to like help them too, helping them deal with it because we can't, oh no, and Jess I think mentioned this too, like we can't always just like put everything out at the door and say like life doesn't exist when I walk through the clinic, because that's just not reality. Like we're going to carry that with us. And so how do we help each other deal with the mom piece of life that sometimes we can't put to the side?